Oh You Thought Podcast, the place where you get a heavy dose of positivity, sarcasm, knowledge, and ratchetness. Enjoy the show. Doing something a little special for y'all this week, taking it back. I don't know if they did this in other places, but here in Houston on the Mad Hatter Morning Show, they used to do the roll call where people would call in and freestyle. So I said, hey, I'm going to take it back and see if I can make it pop or whatever. But y'all just going to laugh at me. Just wait till you get to the hook of my little freestyle. But let's see if I can make it do what it do. And the beat that I'm rapping over is from Playboy Cardi, Magnolia. Hopefully it won't get taken down. Hopefully with me freestyling, it'll be okay. If not, then you'll have to find the freestyle somewhere else. But let's go.
Come out here.
It's the roll call, ayy. It's the roll call, ayy. What's up, y'all? What you gotta say? I'm about to drop some bars today, ayy. North side, holding, nope. East side, holding, nope. West side, holding, nope. South side holding, that's the one. I'm about to go ahead and stunt. Rapping ain't in me. Ay, 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 ay. Jumping on this beat, trying to give you heat. Haters wanna block me, cops wanna find me. Your man try to wipe me cause I'm too smart and cute. But you gotta find me in these streets. Let me please be free. South side is in me. Hold your wig and jig. Hold your wig and jig. Body rocking on this beat. South siding on this beat. Hold your wig and jig. Hold your wig and jig. Ay, ay. Yeah, that's mine. Don't take it. So like I stated before I started my little freestyle, this week I want to do something a little bit different by incorporating the whole Freestyle Friday type of thing. So I hope you got a good laugh out of that, and I'm pretty sure you did. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the show. I have a lot of great things I want to talk about with you this Friday. And so I just really hope that you truly enjoy the show. Oh, you thought that racism was actually dead, but it's not. And several of my Oh, you thought moments will just prove that racism is still well alive and here. The first topic that I want to talk about deals with the football coach at Texas A&M, Kevin Sumlin. And basically after they took a loss last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago, he received a racist letter in the mail over the team losing, which is just really crazy. And, you know, you think I would be more prepared knowing that I'm going to talk about these things. And so the letter that he got, it said, "You suck as a coach. You're a nigger and can't win. Please get lost or else." And that's the thing that really triggers me. The use of the N-word, and then also saying or else. Like, people are really, really bold out here and in their feelings. Like, so how can you get mad at people of color when we sit and voice our reality of things that are going on in this world? Like, we're not making up stuff. Like, white people don't get letters like that in the mail about get lost because of your skin color. Like, there again, like this thing that people keep saying, that I keep saying, it's a real thing. It's white privilege. And there again, like, I have to make sure I make this perfectly known that yes, it would be very ignorant of me to think that all white people are the same. That's not the case. I truly don't believe that at all. I never have. But I just see that there are a lot of hateful people out in the world. And yes, in every bunch there's a bad apple or a few bad apples, but you should not stereotype everyone into one box. Let me also make that clear, because as a person of color, I don't like when I'm placed in the same box as XYZ, the bad apples in my group, or seeing my black brothers placed in the same box as the bad apples. Like, that's not fair to us. Like, open mind, people. We need to have an open mind. Oh, you thought that Jemele Hill would be afraid to speak her mind. Yes, everything she said, they were opinion-based statements. I'm using air quotes because in this case, I definitely feel like her opinions were facts. And so I'm going to read through a few of her tweets, and they may not be in order, but here we go. Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. Before I move on to the next tweet, there's so much evidence out there that his own father was a part of the KKK. There's pictures of Donald Trump with his father with his KKK gear on. Okay, next tweet. Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president of my lifetime. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. Another factual statement. Let's think about this. Like, he came with the whole slogan of making America great again, and it was based on the values of white people, that his values were in line with white supremacists. And we even had the former leader of the KKK, David Duke, even come out and say, hey, basically, we helped get you in the White House. So when you have those kinds of things in your court, like, it's undeniable that you run in circles with white supremacists. So you may not be totally racist, but we need to start calling a duck, right? He wants to build a wall to keep Hispanics out. He just recently forced the hand for Congress to go in and make changes to the DACA, or he wants to try to get rid of it altogether. And then, like, this man is, just go read his tweets or whatever. And then he said, well, who would want to get rid of all these people? And it's just like, you feel like you're just in the twilight zone. Like, dealing with Trump, it is a mess, and we look crazy as a country. Okay, so next tweeted yesterday, and she says, so to address the elephant in the room, facts is a hashtag she has on the tweet. My comments on Twitter express my comments on Twitter express my personal beliefs. My regret is that my comments and the public way I made them painted ESPN in an unfair light. My respect for the company and my colleagues remain unconditional. And it's like an apology, but not, which I halfway get it, but it's just like, she shouldn't be apologizing for anything, because there again, the things that Trump says all day long, the things that the people that are aligned with Trump, it just makes no sense for her to have to apologize, because she said nothing wrong. And it's just like, how can you get mad at people for speaking the truth, speaking her truth, and speaking the truth for a lot of Americans at this point? You know, people were still trying to hang tight with Donald Trump and everything, but now it's just like, he's going too far with a lot of things. He's just not capable to be the president of the United States. And I just find it funny that people have been just attacking her. And on the positive side of this, ESPN tried to replace Jemele Hill and Michael Smith the day that it happened, and they were going to replace them with two other black faces. Okay, so I guess they're trying to maintain that good old quota, and the people that were going to replace them said no, we don't want to do it. And so they got to go on air and still record. And so I hope that she still keeps her job. Or, as my best friend kind of mentioned, it would be low-key cool if, let's say she did get fired and they just start their own network with just black people. Like, let's really start creating our own stuff, and this would be the perfect opportunity because there's a following. And there again, like, the majority of us are in the sports that they like to watch and everything. And so if you want to continue to live on those kinds of standards where you can't speak up, like, again, the United States is supposed to be built on the notion that you have free speech. Like, that's in the Constitution. Like, it's there in black and white. And it's always just very funny. Like, if you white, you can speak up and say whatever you want. Let's just backdate to Obama as far as, like, let's talk about how they talk about presidents, like, they just gave him hell every single day. And there again, dealing with Trump, you have white people that don't like him. You have black people that don't like him. You have Hispanics that don't like him. Like, it's close to the majority that do not like him. And so it's not fair for you to be silenced because you feel a certain type of way about someone that shouldn't be running this country. Oh, you thought that my boy Colin Kaepernick was going to stop giving away money, and he just made another donation to help support the Dreamers. And so he made a donation to United We Dream organization. And basically it's an organization that helps support the undocumented community. And so my question to you guys again is, what makes Kaepernick such a bad man that he can't play in the NFL? And see, I keep making this point. It's about him having a job, and it's not about him having a job, because you can see how the system of America and the system of the NFL is just so broken to where a lot of people's minds are just totally warped on the things that are right and good. He did nothing wrong. He didn't disrespect. That's not even the president. He didn't even say anything bad about the president during his silent protest or anything like that. So he took a knee in silent protest for those that are oppressed in this country. And like I keep saying, it's not just about black people. He's about all people of color. And so I commend him, and I send prayers up for him that all his needs will be met for years to come, and he doesn't have to struggle with surviving and living. And so anytime I can highlight Colin Kaepernick, I will. The last Oh You Thought moment is pretty good to me. It's good, because there again, when you don't care about living in your truth and you don't care what people say about you, the backlash does not matter. And I'm talking about one of my favorite artists of all time, Stevie Wonder. He was at the benefit that was held a couple nights ago, hand in hand, to help support the hurricane relief efforts from the past two hurricanes. And I believe they do other things with this organization. And so before he started his performance, I'm getting ready to paraphrase, but he basically said, you must be blind if you do not see that global warming is real. And it's amazing to me that these scientists don't want to be in the ears of the people in the government that have the power to make changes that we can make, because nature is going to be nature. But at what point are we going to take it seriously and try to protect what we have left of this earth? Because it is our responsibility. It's not our responsibility to just live in this country and just mess it up, live in this world and mess it up. And so he definitely got hand claps from me when I saw this trending on Twitter. And I was just like, there again, you're not going to come for Stevie Wonder when he is telling the facts. Like, people just like to be in denial about stuff that is just so simple that you shouldn't be in denial about. And we have to do better as a world and try to preserve what we have left of this world so we can survive, because things will just keep getting worse with global warming, and it is real. So if you don't know anything about global warming, educate yourself, write letters to your local government officials, and force them to take a stand on these issues. So with that, I got my rapping out of the way. I got my political rants out of the way for the most part. I might have a few more left in me. I want to officially welcome you to excuse me, episode 27 of my baby Oh You Thought podcast. My name is Fallon, and I'm coming to you live from Houston, Texas. This is week number 2 of me officially being unemployed. I feel like I've been pretty much productive on the end as far as like looking for a job and all that stuff, and taking care of business, still taking care of business with my car. I'm finally getting the AC fixed in my car, getting the inside fixed from the water from the hurricane. So I'm getting all that taken care of. My car will be done next week. I have an interview next week, next Thursday. So I'm really excited about that. That's interview number 2 with this particular company. And so I'm praying for that. I want to send a special shout out to a new listener of my podcast. Thank you to EY for subscribing via SoundCloud. And thank you also for sharing my episodes on your timeline. Thank you for that love. And also thank you for sharing your new love for my podcast by putting a comment under an episode that you listen to. So I see y'all when y'all make comments. I see y'all when y'all add me, and just thank y'all. Let me just start by saying thank you, because I can't make this podcast grow without ears and people retweeting and reposting my episodes, like, because you just never know who can just come across your podcast and you get a new audience. So thank you again, EY from SoundCloud. Thank you for that. I want to highlight, I think, a good initiative that I came across on social media. And basically, it's an initiative for people to volunteer to share their homes with people that have been affected by Hurricane Harvey and Irma. And this is called Home Tears, and that's HOMETEERS. And if you're interested in sharing your home with someone, I have it. If you're interested in sharing your home, go to hometears.org. And again, that is HOMETEERS.org. And basically the post that they place, it says natural disasters can strike at any time, leaving our neighbors displaced and without housing. Emergency shelters quickly become crowded and can be overwhelming for children and adults. Help a family in need by serving as one of our home tiers. And what are home tiers? Home tiers host families in need of temporary emergency housing at no cost to the house guests. How dope is that, y'all? You simply volunteer available room in your home to a family in need. This allows the family a safe living environment and time to secure housing. Post your listing today at hometiers.com. And like I said, they also have hometiers.org. So they have 2 options for you to get that going. Like, for those of you here in Houston or in the Houston area that have these big homes or have an extra home in your apartment, why not open up your home to someone in need, especially if you have family members that are displaced, good friends, co-workers. Like, I think now is definitely the time to show love. So all the information that I'm talking about in this podcast, I will also post in the notes of the podcast. As I told you last week, September is PCOS Awareness Month, and I kind of wanted to tie a knot between PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, and being a diabetic and how they go hand in hand for a good amount of people that have PCOS. And so there's an article that I will also post a link to in the notes, and it's 5 things to know about PCOS and diabetes. And I just kind of want to highlight a few things. Number one, I didn't mention last week that doctors, they don't know what caused polycystic ovary syndrome, but they definitely think that it's linked to genetics. And when I read the article, I was like, okay, well, who in my family has this gene besides me? My sister's a diabetic, but she hasn't told me if she has it. And there's a lot of diabetics in my family. But are there a lot of women with diabetes? Maybe it's just me and my sister on my dad's side that are females with diabetes. So maybe we're the first generation, or maybe I'm the first generation that has this gene that somehow probably got passed down. It probably skipped over a generation or two, and the gene probably landed in my body. So now I have that gene. I'm sorry, I'm thinking this out as I talk about it. And so, like I said, they don't know what causes it, but they think it is genetics. And there is definitely a link between polycystic ovary syndrome and diabetes. And basically, PCOS is actually a factor that doctors will look at in women that they haven't diagnosed with diabetes, and typically on the type 2 end, based on the symptoms that you show as a type 2 diabetic with this syndrome. And so definitely is an interesting fact. Like I said, just thinking through the process that possibly someone in my family has this gene and maybe they don't know, or like I said, maybe it skipped a few generations, and so I'm the current person with the gene. Number 2, the syndrome is diagnosed through several tests. Let's first talk about diabetes. Basically, that's diagnosed by looking at your insulin levels and just you having the symptoms of what encompasses having high insulin in your body. And so as far as polycystic ovary syndrome, they do blood work to see your hormone levels. They do a pelvic exam, and there again, they incorporate looking at your insulin levels. And so once they kind of know what's going on, because this is how my story went, I had the symptoms that, let me just backdoor a little bit. When I was like 15, 16, when I first was diagnosed with being a diabetic, my doctor that had his hands in saving my life, his God-guided hands to save my life, he wanted to do a research study on me because, number one, they didn't know if I was type 1 or type 2 diabetic. And then number 2, they didn't know, they saw all the symptoms that I were having and they didn't know what it was because there again, I was so young. And so I had the hair growth. That was the biggest symptom that I had, and they didn't know how to treat it and everything. And so it was really bad in my younger years. I feel like that was like the number one thing. And then of course, the way that I was holding my weight, in my body. And then at the time I wasn't having cycles every month. And so they started testing me. They still didn't know. I didn't find out that I had PCOS until I was like in my early 20s. They did the testing and everything, and they finally put 2 and 2 together. Once they found out, they made me go do an ultrasound on my uterus and my ovaries to see what was going on. And yeah, they saw cysts and everything on my ovaries, but nothing crazy, but I had them. And so they definitely told me it would be hard for me to conceive and have children. And so that's what they do to diagnose you. Number 3, PCOS and pregnancy. I touched on this last episode, and basically a lot of women with this syndrome suffer from infertility issues. It's tough for us to get pregnant, and a lot of people struggle with all the different ways to try to get pregnant. Basically, a lot of people try to lose weight because basically, if you lose weight, your body will function better. And even those that lose weight, they still struggle because if you're not having a cycle every month, 9 times out of 10, you may not be ovulating. And so with me, in my 20s, I got regulated. I have my cycle every month. So when I go in for my checkups and when I've had discussions about trying to get pregnant, wanting to be pregnant, the fact that I'm still having my cycle every month is a good sign that I'm ovulating. And so, number 4 from the article, treating both diabetes and polycystic ovary syndrome. Basically, of course, you're going to take your medications for your diabetes, whether that is insulin or pills or however you maintain it. But diet is the number one key. And as I get older, I just learn more things on how eating cheese and dairy products affects that hormone in your body that grows the wrong hormone for women. And so you have an increase in hair growth. And so diet is definitely key in fighting both of these diseases. But having polycystic ovary syndrome, it definitely puts you at risk for other conditions, and this makes me very nervous. And like I just mentioned, not having periods, that means you're not ovulating all the time. And if you don't have a period, the lining that's supposed to be shed each month from the uterus, it can get backed up. It can lead to a build up, and it can turn into endometrial cancer. Also high blood pressure. I've struggled with high blood pressure off and on. My last blood work was totally good though, as far as cholesterol and all that stuff. Heart problems, depression, and mood swings. And I definitely suffer from depression. I think the reason why I've suffered in the past with depression is because of the symptoms of PCOS, dealing with the hair growth and everything. And I'm just so thankful that it has gotten 1,000 times better than what it was in my younger years. Shout out to Mia Bella for doing my laser treatments the past year and a half. And that's another thing it's costly to do laser treatments. And it was just, I was at my breaking point. I was just like, I have to do something about this because I'm just so depressed on how I look in the mirror. And so I probably spent close to $2,000 at this point doing the laser hair treatment. So it's worth it if it works for you, because I've read that it doesn't work for everybody. But yeah, and I definitely get mood swings because I'm in pain. And I have really, really bad cycles as far as cramps and stuff. And a lot of people with this syndrome, they suffer with that as well. And so it's not always pretty dealing with being a diabetic and also having the polycystic ovary syndrome. So yeah, I just definitely want to share that because I thought it was an interesting article. And so I'll have the link in the notes. And yeah, just go ahead and educate yourself. A positive mind equals a positive life. When you let go of all the negativity, that is the ultimate glow up. It's time for the positivity moment of the show. Positivity moment of the show. I know a lot of people that deal with anxiety. I deal with anxiety with certain things in my life. And I came across this nice little pen from Pinterest, which I'm on like every day. And it's providing you with 7 Psalms from the Bible that can help you reduce anxiety. I'm not going to read the chapters and the verses, but I'm just going to give you the chapters that you can go to. Psalm 121, Psalm 116, Psalm 103, Psalm 27, Psalm 34, Psalm 40, and Psalm 62. So if you deal with anxiety or just depression or anything, you just need to be uplifted. Try out those and see if it helps you out a little bit. popping this week? What's popping? I first want to start out talking about all the shenanigans that's been going on with the Red Cross. So at the beginning of the week, they announced that they were going to be giving out $400 to those affected from Hurricane Harvey, based on the questions that you answer from this little quiz type thing when you register with the Red Cross. And so it just caused a lot of mayhem in one particular area in Texas, in the Beaumont area. And I really didn't believe it until I was talking to someone, and he was like, he stood in line for like 3 or 4 hours to get the $400. And I feel like after I talked to him, that's where the full-on shenanigans started happening. The website is not working. When you try to call the Red Cross, they weren't letting you get through. And so all these people out in Beaumont got to the money. I don't know how many people in Houston got to the money, but I definitely saw a clip of people waiting out in Walmart to get the money. Like the person I was talking to, he had to go to another city close to Beaumont to get his money, but he got it. But if you go to the Red Cross website, they have a link for it, but it's still not letting you apply for those funds. And they promise that it's going to happen. And once they do, it's going to be open for 30 days for people to do it. But if you call and try to do it, they're going to refer you back to the website. If you go to the website, it's going to say, hey girl, we're not working right now. Come back later. We'll give you 30 days. And so this definitely has caused a lot of mayhem in South Texas. So if you are an iPhone consumer, I'm pretty sure you saw the press release of the iPhone 8 that's coming out, and then backdooring after that, the iPhone X or iPhone 10. And I just want to say my piece on this. I posted this a couple days ago on Facebook, and basically people keep posting think pieces and stuff about the price of the iPhone. Now, the only people that are going and paying for the iPhone straight out are those that have the money for the most part. And of course, there will be everybody, that one person or that small percentage of people that will go spend their rent money, their car note money, or whatever money to get the iPhone, the new iPhone, just to be up to date. Now, I've never had to pay full out for an iPhone. I'm with Sprint, and this is basically how it goes. They have an iPhone Forever plan, which you can upgrade to iPhone whenever a new one comes out. You can do a leasing to where you own the iPhone after you pay for it, which is what I did with my iPhone 6S Plus. And so it took me 2 years to make payments on it. And in December, this phone will be mine. Or you can do the 1 year lease option where you're making payments on the phone, and then after a year, you can turn it in and upgrade. And so people just always want to choose to be in their feelings over stuff that is just not important. Like, I don't know if it's all these Android users that are in their feelings. Like, you do realize the base cost for a lot of these phones are like $500 plus. So for you to act like you're not doing the same thing as far as either financing the phone and paying for it on your phone bill, or if you're at a place where you can just do an even exchange, which you probably can only do an even exchange for like the old iPhones at this point. Like, if I didn't want to pay every month on like a new iPhone 8 or X, I could probably go back to like a 6 or a 5, and it'll probably be a little bit of no money if I had to pay anything. So there's ways around it. Like, I'm a very like frugal person. I don't have a lot of money, so I ball on a budget. And no, I'm not the type of person that tries to stunt and have all these things, but I like the iPhone. I like it. And I like the upgrades that are being applied to the phone. And so don't come for me because I'm going to decide to do the iPhone Forever plan and pay for the phone like $20, $30 every single month on my phone bill. Like, don't come for me. I'm budgeting this out. So yeah, I had to speak my piece on that. Irv Gotti might have a new directing job, and he might be directing the DeBarge movie, which I would love to see this come to light. If you don't know who DeBarge is, get your life, look up their catalog. I should do like a special segment or something, or a playlist with DeBarge, but I don't know. Now I want to talk about something that I don't know how to feel, and I don't know if y'all are feeling the same way that I am. Marvin Sapp and R. Kelly, they have a song together called Listen. I haven't listened to it to see if it's good or not, because in my mind, I am just done with R. Kelly. It's just like, how many more passes are we going to give somebody that we don't even know? We just like his music. And I get it. As a Christian, you're supposed to forgive people, move on, all those great things. I get it. But I just kind of want R. Kelly to just go away, go sit down. Like, I'm sure you've made enough money to carry you out for the remainder of your life. And so I get why probably Marvin Sapp aligned himself with R. Kelly. I get it, unless they already have this in the works before the latest shenanigans that came out earlier this year about R. Kelly. So I don't know. But for those of you that are still supporting R. Kelly and you want to hear what it sounds like, the song is called Listen. Master P, someone that I respect in the rap game and the business game, trying to make it work game. Definitely have a lot of respect for him. And basically he's taken on a new business called Day Runner, and basically it's a delivery and Uber type of service. Basically they have moving trucks, they have vehicles to take you around like a taxi, and it's one other service that they offer. It's offered 24/7. I'm not sure if it's started officially, but I've definitely seen the press release for Day Runner. So I don't know what part of the country this would be launched at. So just look it up. I don't know if the app is available yet or not, but if you want to find out more to see what Master P is doing, it's called Day Runner. Now, as we ease on down the road, shenanigans, more shenanigans, social media shenanigans, and I'm bringing Tyrese up to the front of the court. And I have to bring him up because he has been so out of pocket the last couple of weeks, just bringing his personal business, his personal feelings to social media. And yeah, I know that we all do it to a certain degree, but number one, we're not famous. So we don't have all these people tapping into our lives unless you have like a gang of followers. So I feel like for a non-famous person, it's still a little bit different. And I definitely don't advocate even non-famous people just being messy-tessy like this and just sharing too much of your business. He brought his personal business with Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock. Apparently The Rock has been approached to do a separate movie outside of the Fast and the Furious brand, and so Tyrese is feeling some type of way about that. So he put out a long letter earlier in the week, or last week, and then this week he pins a letter to his baby mama, and same thing, like stuff that you could be talking to her about. Or since now that we know there's some legal issues going on, talk to her lawyer about. You want to bring your personal business in regards to your daughter to social media. And allegedly there's accusations of abuse of his daughter, which is just hard to believe because he just seems like he's just a good dad. But there again, we only see snapshots and clips of videos of these people with their kids or in their life. And no, I'm definitely not accusing. I don't know Tyrese. But I've lost some respect for him. And I think I recently unfollowed him on Facebook. I don't think I've unfollowed him on IG yet, but it's coming. I just don't want to see that kind of personal stuff. So now, because you brought this conversation to social media, now you've allowed social media to report on this and to find that there is a case from your baby mama alleging abuse of your daughter. And so just go sit down and like just talk to these people. And if they don't want to talk to you, just go somewhere and mind your business, Tyrese. Just go enjoy your new wife and stuff. Like, just live your life. On the positive end, I'm really, really happy for Rihanna. She has her own beauty line, and it's really dope. Like, it has 40 different shades of makeup, of powder, concealer, all that important stuff that ladies need to wear. And the brand is called Fenty Beauty. That's Fenty. And it's flying off the shelves. I don't even wear makeup. The most that I will wear is like lip gloss. And seeing her just do so well, and seeing all these women of color, even non-color, happy with the product, it makes me want to like just buy some of the makeup, whether it's for myself or somebody else, just to support this young lady. So that's really, really dope. And so definitely happy to see her shine. And yeah, that's what's up. So last week I had a few topics that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have enough time to just dive on in. Most of them are centered around relationship type of things, topics. And the first thing up on the docket that I want to talk about is September is, I guess, Take a Man on a Date month. Ladies, how do we feel about this? Me personally, I'm old school mixed with a pinch of new age dating type of shenanigans, right? And so I see nothing wrong with this at all. And I'm pretty sure some women are gonna feel like, what I gotta take him on a date for? He's supposed to take me out. No, ladies, like, when you're in a situation, when you're dating someone for X amount of whatever is a good amount for you, why not take your man on a date? He deserves, like, your man shouldn't be the only person doing nice things for you. And I'm so old school. Like, I'm not just looking for a man to do stuff for me. Like, I'm more into a man spending time with me, telling me the truth, really caring for my mind and my soul, rather than us always having to be out in the streets going somewhere. But that's just me. So I definitely wouldn't have a problem taking my man out this month on a date. And so I encourage you ladies to take your man out on a date. It's nothing wrong with paying to go out to dinner, to go bowling, to go to a football game, even though I'm not supporting football. So maybe save your ducats for like a concert or when basketball comes up. Like, just do something that your man likes, like, especially if your man takes care of you and you don't even have to ask him to do certain things. Like, he just knows what to do for you. So yeah, like, let me know how you feel about this, ladies or guys. Like, if you're a guy, do you want to be taken out on a date? Do you want someone to pay for you? And even, like, you know, let's also take it a little bit further. Let's say you're not in a relationship. Let's say you're just out here dating. Why not just push yourself, ladies, to go ahead and ask that man out that you've been eyeing, that you like, that you got a crush on? Just boss up as a lady and say, can I take you out somewhere? If you're a real one, he's going to be like, no, I got this. But just jump out there. And if you know you have a good first date and he paid for the first one, he just put it on you, just say, next time I got it. And just make sure you get one in for September at least, ladies. Just one. Just try to do one. So, staying in this direction, I want to talk about cuffing season. And I actually saw a think piece on social media about cuffing season, and it just made me laugh. And with that, I'm going to be working on a cuffing season playlist. It's coming soon. It's going to come before the end of the year or before winter. But we don't really have winter in Houston, but it's going to come. So a cuffing season playlist is coming from Fallon soon. And I just want to go through this chart that I found on social media about cuffing season. So hilarious. And I just want to say before I go into this nice little chart, I hope this year I am chosen. I hope I'm not just like a seasonal, boo type thing. Like, I want to get chose this season. I want to go into 2018 still with my boo-boo. Like, that's what I want. Like, I'm up here struggling though. It's hard. It is hard to maintain anything nowadays. And yeah. But yeah, Fallon wants to get cuffed up this season, and hopefully it's by who I want it to be. So basically, according to this graph, August the 1st through the 31st, so the whole month of August, men are out here scouting. Right? Out here scouting, or females are out here scouting. The whole month of September, you're being drafted. Drafting is going on. They're seeing what works. They're seeing what doesn't work. They're making exchanges and everything. They're trying to figure it out. October, the whole month of October is tryouts. And so I'm assuming tryouts, you're going out on dates. You're spending time. If some of you out here just popping it like that, you may be out here having sex, trying to figure out if this is the right person for you, if you're compatible like that. If you're out here, no judgment. We grown. Do what you want to do. November is preseason. It's preseason, y'all. So if you got drafted, you got to show them that you worth it. Like that you can start after the preseason, ladies. Like, you gotta cook for these dudes. Like, you gotta be understanding. Be a little bit crazy, but not too crazy. Be a little bit jealous, not too jealous. Show that you're interested, which I struggle with that phone call. Like, I struggle with calling. I'll text you, though. So I gotta try to do better during this cuffing season so I can get chose. December the 1st through January the 15th, cuffing season officially begins. So I'll have that playlist, put together before the end of the year. And now, for those that want to get chosen, that don't just want to be a cuffing bae, just a seasonal bae, playoffs. If you still talking to that man or that female between January the 16th and February the 13th, you notice that cutoff time the day before Valentine's Day, and you a real G if you make it through December. Because this is a little tip that my daddy gave me. Basically, he used to cause arguments or just fall off the face of the earth and stop talking to females in December so he wouldn't have to buy them gifts for Christmas, and he would probably push it all the way through February. So after that time period, he would pick them back up in late February. So ladies, if you make it through December, I'm going to claim that you're going to make it to the playoffs. And the playoffs, like I said, is January the 16th through February the 13th. And championship, if you make the cut, if you're going to be cuffed this season, you make it to Valentine's Day. You actually get a gift, and this is your man. This is your boo. Y'all made it. You did it. It's all good. So yeah, definitely fun. And let me know, like, guys, let me know if you out here scouting who you want to be on your team, so you can go ahead and draft who you want to have during this cuffing season. Let me know your process. Email me, OhYouThoughtFallon@gmail.com. And ladies, email me your stories, like, of you going through the cuffing season process. Let me know if you think you're going to be chosen this time. And yeah, I want to hear some cuffing season stories, okay? on a healthy note, before I move on to some sports, I posted a picture on social media yesterday of one of my vision boards that I have in my home. And this particular vision board is dedicated to my health of trying to lose weight and all that stuff. And so I was on Pinterest a couple days ago, and I'm always trying to find a new way to keep my workouts exciting, to not get bored, and to get the weight off, right? And so I came across this post that says that it takes 21 days to develop a habit. It takes 21 days to develop a habit. And in this case, it's going to be a positive habit. And so they have this idea that I started out today, day 1 of 21. And basically you just use some sticky notes or whatever you want to use to visually see your 21 days somewhere where you actually have to do something with it by moving the tab, the post-it note, whatever. So once you complete whatever task you're trying to do in 21 days, a new habit that you're trying to form, you take it off the list. And so I put down a workout schedule on each tab of what I'm doing for each day of the 21 days. And I told myself if I miss a day or if it's something happens that I can't work out for that day, then I have to do that tab over. I even said I have to start over with the 21 days, but we'll see. And so that's what I'm doing. So my challenge to y'all, what is something that you want to do, a new healthy habit, a positive change in your life? Let me know. And let me know if you're staying on track for your 21 days, if you fell off the wagon. If you fall off, just don't quit. Just keep trying to get through the 21 days. And I'll let you know how my journey is going with the 21 days. And so today was a cardio day where I had to do cardio for 60 minutes. And then tomorrow is my core day where I do core for 60 minutes. And so I kind of just go backwards and forth with cardio, core work, and then cardio and arm work. So I go between those 3 factors to get through the 21 days. So yeah, let me know how everything is going with y'all if y'all decide to do the 21 days. I just have a few things I want to talk about in regards to sports. Nothing too major is going on in my life with sports since I'm not watching football this season. And so in the football lane, I want to talk about Tracy McGrady, aka T-Mac. He was recently inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I just want y'all not to come for T-Mac and never forget that he put up 13 points in 35 seconds. Not 35 minutes, 35 seconds. 13 points in 35 seconds. He is a legend for that in my eyes. He is a Houston Rockets legend for that. He did that when he was playing with the Houston Rockets. So I'm definitely happy for him. The NFL, they saw a small decline in viewership of its premiere week of football. I think it was about a 10% decline for viewership. And how will this really affect the NFL? Are more people going to tap in on boycotting the NFL? Will people not stick to the plan of boycotting the NFL? So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on the viewership for the NFL because I want there to be an impact by those that are boycotting. And like for me, like I said, like if it was just me, myself, and 5 other people boycotting, I'm still going to do it because it's a bigger picture for me. And last thing in football, just because I'm not watching doesn't mean that I'm not going to keep up with like news stories and stuff like that. So I just wanted to preface that before I talk about Houston Texan Brian Cushing. He's being suspended for 10 games for PED usage again. This is not his first time. And so that kind of sucks for the Texans. So yeah, that's all I have for sports. That's it. I'm so ready for basketball, y'all. I'm so ready so I can do fantasy basketball, because I am kind of feeling some type of way that I can't do fantasy football. But oh well, I'm staying the course. It's that time. One gotta go. Which one is it? One gotta go. I got two scenarios for y'all, and it's in the dating and romance department, just piggybacking off of my cuffing season talk I just had a few minutes ago. And so I'm gonna give you two options. Y'all respond and let me know what you would get rid of, and I'll let you know which man I would get rid of. So if you're a man seeking a woman, put yourself in that scenario, and vice versa. Whatever your dating preference is, let me know which person you would choose. So option one. Okay. You have a good looking partner. He's a millionaire, but he has halitosis. And for those of you that don't know what halitosis is, basically you have bacteria in your mouth that causes you to have stanky breath every day. And he tells all of y'all's business on social media. So that's option one. Option two. Average looking partner. He's not ugly, but he's just average. He's put together, okay? He makes enough money to pay all of the bills and to save. But his negative point is he tells you that both of y'all cannot use social media at all while y'all together. Now for me, and the way my OCD works, y'all probably already know which one I'm gonna just get out of the window immediately, and I'll tell you why. And it's option one. I don't care about the money like that, but I do care about good hygiene. You know, I wouldn't be able to deal with someone that doesn't have their mouth together. Like, and I'm so like just weird about body smells. Like, I wear perfume and stuff. I take multiple showers and baths a day. On a good day, I might take three, especially when I was dealing with the no AC in my car. It might have been 3 or 4. But no, like, if I'm getting ready to go see my dude, I don't care what I've been doing all day. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to smell good, put on deodorant, and I'm going to chew gum as well, or have a peppermint or something to enhance my breath, even though I just brushed my teeth and used mouthwash. To me, your body could never be too clean and smelling good, and your mouth needs to be right. So for me, option one is gone. Option two is a keeper, because yes, I have to be attracted to my mate, but it's not all about looks. You know, I've been with people that typically probably aren't attractive to most people, but not really that many, y'all. Check my records. I'm just playing. But he's making enough money to pay all the bills. I'm assuming I'm working to pay the bills. So I'm not looking for someone to take care of me like that. You know what I mean? It's not a deal breaker. And you got money left over to save. So that's a win for me. We don't have to be millionaires. The only thing that's a negative for me, and it's only because I have my podcast and I use social media to reach out to people, to connect with people. So I would have a problem with that. But there again, this really should be a non-factor for me. I would be able to talk to my man. See, I don't know if we're supposed to be changing scenarios, but I would be able to talk to my man and say, hey, this is work for me. This is something I'm trying to build and everything. You have to let me make it on it. I won't talk about you or whatever. Like, there again, if you know me, I'm a really private person anyway. You know, like if I have like a good night with my man, or, he says something really nice to me, I might say him or he did this or something like that. But I've never been one to be posting pictures of us. I've never been one to say his name like that. Like, if I do talk about that person, it's in a very aloof way, so people don't know my business. But for the nosy people, I always say, if you look at the stuff that I post or some of the things that I say, or you look at the people that are consistently possibly liking my posts, but the people I've dealt with in like the last 2 years, like they never like made that connection like that. So you just really just never knew who I was dealing with or currently possibly dealing with. Like, you just don't know. It's a mystery. But yeah, so let me know, would y'all take option 1, option 2, and just, fit the standards for whoever you're trying to date, and let me know. OhYouThoughtFallon@gmail.com. Bumper. That's so Houston. I feel like there's always a lot of stuff popping off in the city. I don't be partaking in it. I hope that I'll be able to maybe go to the Nas concert next week, but I doubt it. But yeah, so he's going to be in town next Wednesday with Lauryn Hill. I didn't have this on the list though. At the new place out in Sugarland. I can't think of the name of the arena out there or the center out there, but out in Sugarland on Wednesday, on the 16th, there's going to be a day party at the Alley Cat Bar and Lounge, and Big Daddy Kane will be in the building. And so if you're looking for something to do in a day party type of vibe, check them out. Also on the 16th is the Texas Taco Music Fest, and that will be at the Discovery Green. So if you're into tacos and music, check them out. On the 17th, Sunday Fun Day in the Heights, and it's a pop-up art and bottomless mimosas, and it starts at noon at Berry Hill. So that should be fun. Like, see art, get a little daytime drunk, and mind your business. Also involving drinking, we have the Houston Daiquiri Festival on Saturday from 2 p.m. to 10 at the Jones Plaza. So it's a lot of different things going on in the city. I don't always put everything that's going on. I kind of just, put stuff out there that I like, that would possibly be my type of thing, because my hope is that, one day I'll promote some of these things and I'll say, I'll be there. If you want to link up and meet who's behind this podcast, like possibly do those kinds of things. So that's on the table. Next week, I will be diving into the segment of what's on your playlist. I know I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, but I want to bring multiple people to the table. I just got a great EP that was put in my Twitter DM by my homie Rob. And so I will definitely be highlighting that EP next week. And I'll be talking about a few other artists next week as well. So tune in next week to get your music fix.
Top five.
Another segment I haven't done in a while is top five. And this is a petty side of me, but whatever. Top 5 ways to mind your business on social media. I feel like some of us need a class on minding your business on social media, because maybe you'll end up living a happier social media life. And so, number 5, simply just mind your business. That's it. Mind your business. Number 4, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. That is so golden. Words to live by. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Number 3, stop thinking that posts that people make is their current situation. Because I am notorious for posting things that I just like. This just speaks to my spirit, or I know people that's going through it, or I'm currently going through it, or I'm not, or I went through it in the past. Like, it could just be any kind of scenario. You just don't know. So don't assume because I'm posting something that I'm currently going through that. Like, I could just be living my best and happy life, and you just never know. And just going back to my situation, people never really know if I'm in a relationship or not, or if I'm dating consistently. or whatever. Like, people just never know. And I want it to be like that because I don't like to look crazy in the streets. And I always say that on social media, that I never want to look stupid from dealing with a man on social media. So I just never get too booed up as far as what I'm saying or whatever. But I will get on my soapbox in a minute to talk about political issues and issues that concern my people of color. Number 2, stop trying to police grown people on their social media page. Like, if you don't like what they're saying, unfollow them. I've done that. But I never come for people and their opinions and their thoughts, because you have a right to feel the way you want to feel, just the way I have the right to feel the way I want to feel. And so we shouldn't be judged by that unless you're like a racist or something. And then maybe I might call you out if we're like really good friends. But if we're not really good friends, then I just hit the unfollow. Or if you don't want to go through the process of unfollowing them on Facebook because you think, oh, we might be friends later on, just unfollow them on Facebook. You can still be friends. A lot of people don't know that life hack. And I've done that to a few people where I didn't want to unfriend them because we're still cool, but I don't want to see stuff that they're posting because, being real, I can't handle it. And so if you can read between the lines, you know I'm talking about a man or whatever that I've unfollowed. And so, yeah, so just do that. Like, make your life simple. Number 1, stop gossiping to other people about what you see on social media. And I think family you have a big issue with the gossiping on what you see on social media, and you just shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it to your family. You shouldn't do it to your friends. And we really shouldn't be gossiping about these famous people because there again, we don't know them. And how would you feel if your life was playing out before all these people? So just try to have some understanding when you're on social media, people.
If I stop saying the word nigga, how am I going to describe nigga shit?
I have a few items that I want to talk about in the dumb nigga shit. All the shenanigans, the few shenanigans that I want to talk about in this segment. I want to start with John Walsh, and his thoughts on racism. He was recently quoted from Twitter saying the single greatest act of racism in American history was the election of Obama. How, Sway? How? Did you not realize what you were saying when you posted that tweet? Because, yeah, the greatest act of racism in American history was the election of Obama. So you're saying because racism, he won the presidency? Like, it just sounds like an oxymoron. Like, it really does. Like, it's because he was president that a lot of racism did occur in the White House. That sounds like a better statement to me. It sounds like a truer statement to me. Like, because he was president, we saw racism grow in American history. I don't know. Maybe some of these people should pay me to reword their tweets and fix them before they tweet them out. I'll take that job for Donald Trump. I could be his Twitter PR person since he never wants to give up Twitter. Bow Wow. I need him to come to the front of the church. And I say this because of something he recently posted on social media. I can't talk. Social media in regards to not wanting a relationship, people. Now I'm going to read his post. I don't want a relationship. They hold you back. I want a best friend I can sleep with, make love to, hustle with, get money with, travel with, shop with, club with, and live life with. I want a partner in crime, a life partner. Someone that I can laugh with and build with. A woman I'm not afraid to lose because I know they'll always be there. Relationships are played, but a partnership I will take. Baby boy, Basically, what you described is what most people describe as having a relationship, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, a husband. You're talking about doing all these things that you want to build with somebody you trust. That's a relationship. Whether you call it a relationship or a partnership, you're still going to be committed to that person. But I'm going to say something really, really slick, because I know a lot of you men will get in your feelings about this, but oh well, fuck it. A lot of men will try to use that kind of trickery in order to still try to entice a female, but not claim the female, so they can have the option to go out and mess with Brenda Sue and whoever else they want to mess with, because you're not in a relationship. And so men think if you don't tie up all those things together, it's not a relationship, as long as you don't call it a relationship. So that's my issue with Bow Wow. You're basically talking about a relationship. You want to build stuff with someone. You're talking about all the stuff you want to do with someone. That's relationship type stuff. That's actually wifey material type stuff. Get off the gas and stay off social media, please, and thank you. Last person I want to talk about, and I really don't know what to say about this person, because I just assume that he's doing it for TV or something, and we'll find out later down the line. But Young Jock was spotted out in Atlanta wearing a dress, a full-on like prom type dress, and so I'm sure it's for something. It has to be for something. But you know, he's been wearing this new fancy do for like over a year, and no judgment, like live your life. But I think as an outside person looking in, I just would want to know, what is his reasoning for wearing a dress? Or maybe he just felt like wearing a dress, and there again, that's your business, boo boo. But if y'all haven't seen the picture, just get on social media, you'll find it. I'm sure someone's talking about him and it's there. We must empower ourselves. We must empower ourselves with knowledge. We can't be afraid of knowledge. Knowledge is free. Knowledge will always be here. We have to know where we came from so we can stand firmly in where we are going and have the boldest confidence. Dropping jewels. Last segment of the show that I want to talk through is, of course, dropping jewels. And I just want to big up one young lady as far as something she's doing for our younger generations. And so I'm talking about Angela Rich, and she just basically developed an app called Credit Stacker. The name of the app is Credit Stacker, and it teaches students about personal finance, credit management, and entrepreneurship. And basically within 2 weeks or less, it's gotten 200,000+ downloads, and Forbes have named her the next Steve Jobs. Like, that's pretty amazing to get a title like that you're the next Steve Jobs. So kudos to her. Glow up, keep glowing up, all that great stuff. And I hope to see more apps for you. Maybe create an app for adults with all that stuff, but on a different level. That would be pretty awesome. But I definitely like to see my people out here shining. And so, yeah, that's all I have, people. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. And like I said, everything that I talked about as far as information, I will post the links in the information in the bio of the podcast, in the notes of the podcast. I'll also post it on Facebook, where I can have more characters to post information. So you'll find all that information there. Just let me know if you have any comments, if you want me to give you some advice on something that you're going through. And like I said, if you want me to pray for you, I like praying for people, so let me know. My email is OhYouThoughtFallon, that's FALLON @gmail.com. Follow me on social media. My Instagram is OhYouThoughtFallon. My Twitter is Pretty and Smart 81. That's pretty, the letter N, Smart 81. And maybe at some point I'll start using my OhYouThoughtFallon Twitter name, but it's just been easier to use the Pretty and Smart one since that's where I have my following. What else? Am I missing something else? Twitter, IG. Oh, my website is OhYouThoughtFallon.com. I'm still going to be blogging more, and now it's an area on there where you can subscribe to my blog. So whenever I update my blog page, you'll get a notification if you follow me on Twitter. And then every Monday, it'll be a newsletter that goes out just promoting my blog and my website. And so, yeah, just take the time to go to my website, follow and subscribe to my blog, subscribe to the newsletter. It's on the front page of my website where you can sign up for the newsletter and just get your life all the way together. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend. Prayers up for my family, and I will holla at y'all next week. Until next time, remember to glow up, bless up, stay prayed up, and hold it down.
Hold it down.